Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a good morning. This might be one of the few mornings left where I don't have to have a coat on. In fact, I may have to go get one. It's a little brisk this morning. Thermostat says it's 62 degrees out here. So I have my kerchief on and I have my hat on, so it should be okay. But we'll see. And Luna's got her fur coat that she always has. Well, oh, hope you guys have something to get your morning started. I have a cup of coffee. It's nice and warm. And hope you have something to get your day started too. A little sunshine, a little tea, coffee, which I'm an advocate of, or anything else. Just get your morning going. We'll get this day kicked off. Okay, so we talked about the essentials, and so we talked about you know some of the key characteristics of those things. But now let's dive down a little bit more. Education. My education was a little bit crazy and it's not normal. But I don't know if any education nowadays are. Some people still run the same old stuff. Pretty much, you get done with high school, you go into college, and you get your 4-year degree. And then Luna loses her ball underneath the desk here, and then I have to throw it to her. So my mom and dad were big on education. Big. My dad, however, didn't have a degree. My mom had a bachelor's degree in nursing, and but they both wanted me to have at least a bachelor's degree. They weren't too worried about advanced degrees, but bachelor's degree. And they said that that was their way of giving me something to open the doors that they thought were critical. My dad at the time had a friend who worked with Holiday Inns who only hired uh, people with technical degrees. It was kind of a strange thing for anything, everything in management and everything. He always hired technical degrees. But it wasn't uncommon to come across places where a degree was like you had to have it to get in the door. It was a requirement in the description for the job. And I think that's still the case now. I haven't surveyed anything, looked around, but I don't know for overall, it seems like most of the time they say stuff like that. Work experience is becoming more of a uh, good thing to have. I mean, sorry, a substitute for some of those things. It still seems like a degree is necessary. But now there's a lot of churn about whether or not a degree is even necessary. Now, my 3 kids, my daughter has a degree. My 2 sons do not. They started working right after college. Now, my son's planning on going back in to get a pilot's license. So he's wanting to go in kind of a field that uh, has specialized training. There's a lot of questions right now about our degree society. There's, if you go out, so when I got um, done with high school, My parents wanted me to go to college, and there were two colleges in that were there in my in Memphis. One was Christian Brothers College, and the other was the University. It was called Memphis State when I went there. It's now called the University of Memphis. So when I first started out, I was interested in physics, and of the two, uh, the Christian Brothers College had a little bit better physics degree than I than Memphis State. And so I went there and started working on my physics degree. It didn't work out real well. I became very poorly motivated and I got kicked out for academic reasons. So now I didn't have a degree. My parents had a 1 year of high payments for the school, and we're going to talk about payments in a minute here. And then um, I went back after being out for a year, kind of doing my penance for my poor academic results. So I get to the University of Memphis and start working on a degree in business. And I didn't quite enjoy that very much, but I still was much more motivated to do well. So even though I wasn't happy about my selection, I was getting a good grades. So I was starting to get my poor grades that I had before knocked out and erased and improved. Um, I then went on to transfer from business to engineering. Became got eventually got a degree in electrical engineering. And the two things I remember the most, well, not no, the two things I kind of regretted at the time was my poor parents uh, were paying for my education. You know, that was their gift to me, and and I was living at home, so I didn't have anything. So I was working, but I didn't have to work a lot. I could work part time, and it was just enough money to pay for my insurance, gas, my car, going out, eating, stuff like that. Eh, They would, if I was at home, they were taking care of everything. So it allowed me to focus on my studies. Um, they got a the bill for my 1 year in Christian Brothers College was just under $10,000. It was 4,000 for the tuition, and uh, there were those lab fees and books and stuff like that. So now, when I went to University of Memphis, my tuition was $512 a semester. That was for 18 hours. You could do more than 18 hours, but it didn't increase in cost. Wow. What? You're going, huh? Yeah, that was back in the 80s. College was a lot more reasonable, a lot more reasonable. Now it's kind of crazy. Um, I don't know what's going on with college. I really don't. We used to have a system that allowed people like myself, and as you can tell from my parents' education, you're correct. They didn't make a huge amount of money. My dad was a used car salesman. My mother was a nurse. Uh, I didn't have to take out debt to go through college. I got out of college with no debt. I was paying for my college after I got academic probation. I didn't told my parents I didn't think it was fair for them to have to pay it. Plus, I was living at home, so I did have that big advantage. And so I was paying for everything myself. No debts. Got out of college, had my electrical engineering degree, went off to work, and yeah, I was debt free when I got out of college. Even paid cash for my car um, from my savings. And now it's a lot different. There's a lot more money involved. My son is thinking about becoming a pilot, and I can't say what it was like back in the 80s for that because I didn't even look into that. But he's going to have to come up with $90,000 for his training. So he'll have $90,000 in debt when he gets done with his training. My daughter, she get out with a little bit of debt, a lot more than I had, uh, around 8 to 16,000. I can't remember what it was. It depends on how you look at it. There were certain things she was paying off early, but yeah, she had more in debt than I paid for all of my college combined, and she didn't pay for all of her college. I paid for 4 years, and she paid for beyond that. And the only reason she had more than 4 years was because she was in there. She switched majors, and I'm really really proud of her for doing that because I she made it the right decision. It was a tough decision. She wanted to get done and go get a job and get out into the world, but she really did a soul searching. What do I want to do? And she went from accounting to uh, becoming a school teacher. And this is an important point. She had done all the hard parts of accounting. She had done the statistics and the calculus and all those things. She had she was pretty much on the downhill slope as far as accounting was concerned. She had knocked off the ones that were really the weeding out some people in accounting. And then she went into teaching, and yeah, it was the right decision. She is so much happier doing that, and I'm so proud of her. But anyways, so she had a little extra because she did that switch, and that meant she had to do certain things couldn't be pulled over into the other degree, and so she had to do another year. It's going to be interesting here to see my camera falls because Luna's got her ball in between my camera stick. Oh, she got it without doing damage. She is so good sometimes. Oh my gosh. She's a smart girl and she's so gentle when she knows something is important. She didn't want to break my camera. So good girl, Luna. So, okay. So from the 1980s till now, oh, oh, there's a lot of, oh. It went underneath. I couldn't grab it in time. Come get it. Come here. It went down there. Uh, it's a. It went from somebody like me being able to work part time, get my degree, and leave with no debt to people having huge bills for college and not having and leaving with huge amounts of debt. I don't. I don't like it. And the truth is, college was never about getting yourself ready for a job. Your job was what gets you ready. Showed up for a job, you may have some basic skills. There's some minor stuff, like if you're a programmer, it's quite a bit of skills actually. But for most degrees, your your college work was really to set your mind into studying and working and stuff like that. It was more of a, when you had a degree, it showed I can do something. I can work through problems. I can read things and take information and truly get a uh, practical output from it. That's what college was about. Remember, I told you my dad had that friend in Holiday Inn that only hired engineers? That's because he liked the way they analyze things. They analyze things. Come here, Luna. It went back underneath. They analyze things. They do what was called a feedback loop. Common thing in engineering, feedback loops for everything you did. The feedback loop was a way of correcting. You never knew what you were getting as an input, but if you had a feedback loop, you could correct for that and stabilize your system. Just an example. There's a lot of other things in engineering. That's Don't go try and get an engineering job on that. So now we don't have that inexpensive way to see who is a bit ready for our system. Now it's all about getting a fancy degree that's more of a, oh, you got a degree from there, you must be good. So it's broken. It's just broken right now. I'm not even upset my kids don't have degrees other than my daughter. I don't know what they should do. I don't know what the alternative is anymore. So yeah, it's a big problem here in the US. We need to change something about it. Oh, and the other thing that's going on right now is uh, not just teaching skills, but they're teaching how to think about others and how you should think about the world you're in. So it's gone from skills, science, and understanding to opinions and what they call uh, less hard science and more what they call softer science. I don't know. I don't get it. This is me. I'm kind of out of it now. It's been a long time. So I got my degree in the 80s. It's 40 years ago, but it's really weird nowadays. So, anyways, you guys have a good day. I'm sorry that this was nothing I can say good or bad. I have no solutions for you if you want to have some, get your kids a good education. I don't know anymore. Oh, big helicopter going by. But I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope that helicopter is just out training a pilot like my son. We will see you later, and you guys take care.